Hello, thank you so much for joining me for a prenatal workout. We're going to get started with this exercise on our hands and knees. Each of the exercises I'm going to show you, and then after that we will do them for 1 minute. Feel free to take a rest at any time. Our first exercise is bird dog. So you're going to extend your opposite arm and leg and then bring your elbow and knee to touch. At 30 seconds, we'll take a break and switch sides. Let's get started. And every time you extend your opposite arm and leg, you want to keep your core engaged. So you don't want to allow your hips to sink and putting a lot of pressure on your lower back. And here you're starting to train the core muscles and the abdominals and also working the backside body as well. Remember to breathe as you move through these exercises. That's 30 seconds. And switch sides. So lift the opposite arm and leg and then draw your elbow to your knee. Each of these exercises are only 60 seconds. If you need to take a break in between longer than what I allow, then just hit that pause button. And rest. Take a moment to catch your breath, breathe, and as I said, if you need to hit that pause button, go ahead and do so. I'm going to show you the second exercise now. You're going to get yourself adjusted. If lying flat on your back doesn't feel comfortable for you, then you're welcome to use a block or a pillow to boost your upper body off the ground. Place your heels at the hip points, and then you're going to press your hips up towards the sky for bridges. Now, like I said, you can do this with a ball or a pillow behind your upper body. If the weight of your baby puts too much pressure on you or you feel dizzy at any time, then stop and make an adjustment. With each one of these hip presses, I want you to think about pressing down through your heels and squeezing your glutes to kick your hips up towards the sky. And keep that position, keep your glutes engaged by kind of tucking your tailbone. And this is a really great exercise for strengthening the glutes and the core. Keep with it. 60 seconds of work, followed by a little break. You're doing great. Keep going. Keep pushing. Even if it's one more repetition. All right, awesome job. And break. Our third exercise is going to be a series of a yoga flow. So you're just going to bend your knees, kick your hips up towards the sky, and then move through a plank position. So just be mindful of your body. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can always just come into downward facing dog. But starting in that plank position, kick your hips back and up towards the sky. So you're stretching out the side body, and then you're also working your shoulders and arms by keeping the body weight in your hands in the plank position. And just move through this flow at your own pace. And this flow will get your heart rate up a little bit. So if you need to take a break halfway, you're welcome just to rest in downward facing dog. And then just pick it back up when you're feeling good and you're ready to just keep at it. We're over halfway. Keep pushing. Focus on your breath. And we're finished with our third exercise. Take a moment to take a deep breath. Cleansing, relaxing, allowing your heart rate to come back. Our fourth exercise is going to be fire hydrants. So if you have a round band at your house, you're welcome to use that for extra resistance if you have been training all along. But if you're new to it, you can actually do this exercise without the band and still get a good workout. So we're training the glutes here and hips. You're going to raise one of the legs out towards the side. It's called fire hydrant, as if you're peeing on a fire hydrant like you're a dog. So at 30 seconds, I will notify you and we will switch sides. Focus on bringing that knee up as high as you can, if you can get it level with your hips. And yet, pay attention to how your body feels. If you start feeling any types of cramping or any sense of discomfort, then always listen to your body cues and take a small rest. And switching sides, same exercise, just lifting the other leg this time. You'll actually feel this in your glute of the leg that is planted on the ground. Try to avoid rocking to lift your leg up and really focus on using the glutes here. Hang in there, just a couple more seconds to go. And rest. Go ahead and stand up, and we're going to move into our fifth exercise. Here we're going to do a squat with a leg lift. So as you go through your pregnancy, you may find that your balance is not as good as it used to be due to the extra weight that you're carrying. So if you need to use the wall here for support, then just make sure you're standing close enough in case you do lose your balance. 1 minute. And to make an alteration with this squat, you can always decrease the range of motion, so not sit so low. Or you can just lift your leg slightly, so don't bring your knee as high. Make sure you exhale as you drive off your leg, and then take the time if you need to before lifting your leg off the ground for that balance work. Training the glutes, training the core here. And it also just helping you train your balance with the added weight of a baby. Hang in there, stay strong, and finish. Our sixth exercise we're going to move into is going to be for the upper body, for your back. Take a moment here to catch your breath, and then if you have resistance bands, we're going to use them right now. So grab a hold of your band. You're going to place the band under your foot. And here you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together, keeping your arms nice and straight. And then you're going to follow it with a row. So bending at the elbows and taking your hands towards your chest. So for the fly, you're focusing on squeezing those shoulder blades together. And then as you row, you're pulling your elbows out to your sides. Strengthening the back is really important to maintain proper posture. And you want to try to avoid shrugging your shoulders up to your ears here. Stay engaged between the shoulder blades. Think about pulling your shoulder blades towards each other. And you're just alternating between the T-fly and a row. Now, if you're doing this without a band, you're welcome to just stick with those T-flies, just bent right over, and just continue to squeeze the shoulder blades together and be mindful of those muscles working. And if you are doing it with a band, you may need to take a rest. or make it a little bit easier, you can do so by just switching to rows. Take a moment to catch your breath. And our last exercise is going to be a burpee. Not quite. We're going to drop the jump out of it, making it a little bit easier on our body. And you're just going to step back, lower into a push-up if you want to. You can do so on your knees, and then reach right back up towards the ceiling. So you're taking out the impact, leaving the hop out, and you're going to step back and perhaps lower down to the knees if that feels better for you. When you step up, you have an option to go right back onto your knees for a push-up. Make sure you're making space with your knees for the baby so you're not squishing or feeling discomfort. Keep on moving. This is going to be our last exercise that really gets our heart rate up. So just stay strong. Do your best and forget the rest. At this time in your pregnancy, finding the energy to do these workouts doesn't come every day, right? So give yourself a big congrats for getting this far. All right, take a moment to catch your breath, and we're going to come onto our knees for our final exercise, which is going to be some pelvic tilts. So come back onto all fours, and all you're going to do is draw your tailbone down between your legs and round through the spine. And when you do this, your pelvis is tilting, and you're going to feel almost like a stretch in your lower back, but you're also training those core muscles. And I like to also do Kegels as I do these pelvic tilts, just because Kegels can help with training your bladder, especially with the weight of the baby pressing down on your bladder. So Kegels are really important for you to do in your pregnancy. So you can just do that while you do these pelvic tilts by tightening the muscles that you would if you were going to stop the flow of urine. So you're doing that as you tilt your pelvis. You're doing great. This is the last of the workout here. Stay strong. Stay focused. Awesome job. So we're finished with this workout. I highly recommend you taking some time now to do some stretches of your own, or you can follow along with me. If you would like, you're welcome to join in on some prenatal yoga. Now is a really good time to add that to your practice if you have time and energy. If not, just take a couple minutes to stretch down. A full body stretch to the side, if that feels good for you. Maybe you are willing to try out some yoga right now. It's completely up to you. Thank you so much for joining me today for this prenatal exercise session. I had a great time, and I really appreciate you following along. Have a great day. If you have any questions or concerns, pop them in the comments below.